HOA Karen called him crazy, but when the judge looked inside Mr. Carter's bag, the courtroom went dead silent. Mr. Carter was a quiet, older man who kept to himself. A widower and a retired engineer, he lived in the same HOA-governed neighborhood for 22 years. He planted roses, waved at kids, and walked to the park every morning at 7:30 a.m. sharp. But HOA Karen didn't like quiet. She didn't like calm. She liked control. She said his behavior was erratic day, claimed he was unstable, complained that he walked too slow across shared driveways and talked to squirrels like they were people. She filed a formal complaint with the HOA, suggesting Mr. Carter needed a psychological evaluation and should be removed for community safety. It went to court, not because he was dangerous, but because she used her influence to push it through. Mr. Carter walked into the courtroom in his best flannel shirt, worn jeans, and his father's W12-era satchel slung over his shoulder, the same satchel he'd carried every day for decades. Karen smirked. Her lawyer whispered something smug. People stared at the old man like he was a ticking clock. She stood confidently and declared, "Your Honor, the man speaks to trees. He documents license plates. He watches children from his porch. And that bag? He never lets it go. We don't know what's inside." The courtroom tensed. The judge raised an eyebrow. Then he turned to Mr. Carter. "Sir, what is in that bag?" Mr. Carter stood slowly, calm, kind, a little sad. "This?" he said, gently placing the bag on the table. "It's my therapy." He unbuckled the flap. Out came papers, notebooks, blueprints, photos, carefully labeled files. "This is every complaint ever filed against me. Every plan I've cataloged. Every noise violation I never made. And every time he gestured toward Karen, called the HOA, to report that my aura felt off." The courtroom blinked. Then he pulled out a smaller folder. "And this is a letter from my late wife's doctor. This is the bench I built in her memory. These are my VA papers. And this," he placed it gently, "is the photo she took of me talking to squirrels. She said it made me look younger." The judge leaned in, scanning the documents. His brows tightened. He looked at Karen. "You didn't say he was a veteran, or that he's been documenting your harassment for 5 years." Karen's face dropped. Mr. Carter didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. The judge declared the case closed. No further action. In fact, he ordered the HOA to formally apologize and warned Karen that further harassment would lead to charges. As Mr. Carter packed his satchel, a young woman in the back row stood up. She was the judge's daughter. She approached him, smiling warmly, and said, "Sir, if you ever want someone to talk to the squirrels with, I'd be honored." Mr. Carter chuckled, eyes soft. And that, my friend, is how a quiet man with a satchel silenced an entire courtroom.